All right, so far today we're buttoning up this long block on this 5.7 Hemi for this white Charger, and under a little bit of inspection after trying to go back together with it, we gotta get a timing cover because all the pitting right here, your water pump rides right here, and what happens is all these pits in here will aerate the coolant and cause cavitation and other issues and overheating and all kinds of little Mickey Mouse issues that you wouldn't think of that will rise out of this. So we're going to get a new cover for it and make sure it's fixed right for the customer and go from there. We're going to do intake gaskets on a 4.3. I'll show you the diagnostics that I've gotten down to determine that we got intake gaskets leaking. And I also shot a little clip earlier today when we were putting the engine together here in the shop for it's a Charger there with a 5.7 Hemi in it, and it's getting a crate motor. Well, the front cover had some cavitation spots where it's got some pitting in the front cover for where the water pump is, so we're getting a new one. That should be here in 4 or 5 days is what they said. But once it gets here, we'll get the car done out of here. But I'll show you parts of the clip where the pitting in the front cover are things to look for on any vehicle with a water pump that you're replacing the water pump, because that pitting can cause aeration. Aeration isn't good in cooling systems. But well, we'll get into it. I'll take little clips here and there throughout the process of doing the intake gaskets on this, and we'll go from there. All right, so here's what we got so far. I'm gonna turn the valve on and start getting some pressure in the system. Hopefully you guys can hear it leaking. That's a 16-pound system, so we'll stop it right there. I don't know if the camera's going to pick up the hissing noise or not, but it sounds like it's coming from down in there and also through here. So that leads me to believe that it's a intake gasket, and it doesn't change if I roll the motor over either, as far as it being head gasket. If it is a head gasket leaking, it would change tone of the hissing depending on where the rotation of the engine is, because it's on the other side of the valve train. Well, if it's on this side of the valve train, it's not going to change regardless of where the engine position is. So that's what leads me to believe that the intake gasket is what's hissing instead of it being a head gasket, because that's the only two things, unless the block's cracked or something crazy like that, but I don't see that being the issue. 4.3s are bad about leaking everywhere, especially Dex Cool vehicles. If you have one with Dex Cool, the worst thing for it is Dex Cool. You want to get it flushed and cleaned out, and you want to run green mixed with anything antifreeze or green antifreeze in it, because the problem with Dex Cool is it's real acidic. And if you ever notice, most GMs have problems with coolant temp sensors, and sometimes NOx sensors are a little bit of an issue. On the 5.3s, it's a real big issue. But most of your heat of your motor on the cooling side is in the middle of it, any coolant that runs through there, and a NOx sensor picks up to a coolant passage. So that's where you get your NOx sensor issues there. Well, I don't remember. 5.3 might be oil, but most of them are in a coolant passage. But with the Dex Cool or whatever, the best thing to do for them, get rid of it, put the green in it, and you won't have near the gasket issues that you do with Dex Cool. Dex Cool, you have nothing but gasket problems. Every vortec motor you see needs intake gaskets all the time. It's a common issue. Intake gaskets are horrible on 4.3s, the 5.7s. It doesn't matter. If this is a vortec, they had horrible issues with intake gaskets. Even the 5.3s have some issues. But the Dex Cool is eating the material that the gaskets are made of. If you notice, they hardly ever fail on the intake ports. It's generally the coolant ports. And that's because of the Dex Cool. And the fix to it is put green antifreeze back in it. So that's kind of why you want to use green versus the Dex Cool. Well, I'm going to cut this out, get it tore down, and we'll find the leak and go from there. All right, so this is how far I got so far tonight. I know you don't have to take the valve cover off. That was earlier, trying to listen and see if I could see down in there, like it's spraying down towards the camshaft or anything with the inspection camera. But anywho, I'm gonna go get some sleep and make this a part 2 video tomorrow. I gotta edit what I've got so far tonight still, and it's 1:30 in the morning, and I've pulled 2 20-hour shifts the last 2 days, so I'm running on eggshells. So I'm gonna edit this and get it out there tonight and do a part 2 tomorrow, and hopefully I'll get 2 videos out tomorrow is kind of the goal. If I can, I'll try to get 2 or 3 little videos out tomorrow. That would be kind of neat. But we'll see how it goes, and I got all the parts here for this and about 10 other jobs, so we got plenty of work to get done this weekend. There'll be quite a few videos. There'll be some good stuff going on.